It was 1943, and World War II was at its most desperate moment. Hitler's forces seemed unstoppable, having consumed much of Europe. The Allies needed a bold strategy, one that would turn the tide and alter the course of the war. Their plan was so outrageous that it involved a corpse, a dead man who had never lived the life they invented for him, who would deceive the German High Command, and shift the fate of history. This is the tale of Operation Mincemeat. The stage was set in January 1943, following a hard-fought victory for the Allies in North Africa. With the Germans and Italians pushed back, leaders like Churchill and Roosevelt needed to plot the next offensive. Sicily emerged as the primary target. Capturing it would open the way to mainland Italy and force Hitler to defend on two fronts. But this was no secret to the Germans, who had already fortified the island with elite divisions and defensive artillery. A full-scale invasion of Sicily promised heavy casualties for the Allies. The pressing question became clear: how could they mislead the Germans into thinking the Allies were targeting somewhere else? The answer would be one of the most audacious plans in military history. Inside the British Naval Intelligence, Lieutenant Commander Ewan Montagu and Flight Lieutenant Charles Cholmondeley were tasked with orchestrating a convincing deception. They needed a strategy far beyond mere misinformation. Montagu proposed an intricate scheme: create a British officer with a complete identity, personal artifacts, and a story so plausible that the Germans would swallow it whole. Their puppet officer would be discovered dead, washed ashore in Spain, carrying documents that pointed to Greece as the true target of the Allies. The next challenge was finding a suitable corpse. Glyndŵr Michael, a 34-year-old Welsh drifter, fell into their hands after succumbing to rat poison alone in a London warehouse. With no family or friends to raise questions, Montagu secured permission to use his body, which was placed in cold storage for the mission of a lifetime. They began constructing a life for Glyndŵr, transforming him into Captain William Martin of the Royal Marines. This meticulous fabrication process saw every detail scrutinized and crafted. They created a military ID, a love letter from a fictional girlfriend named Pam, and even personal documents with financial troubles. Each item was carefully designed to weave the narrative of a man rushing to war, in love, and burdened by debt. A forged letter from a general suggested that the main Allied thrust would come through Greece, with Sicily as a mere diversion. These meticulously crafted documents were locked in a briefcase, handcuffed to the corpse's wrist. On April 30, 1943, the British submarine HMS Seraph executed the final phase of the operation. As dawn broke, they surfaced off the coast of Huelva, Spain, quietly dressed Captain Martin in his uniform and placed him in the water. The currents would carry him to shore, where he would fulfill his role in the most ambitious ruse of the war. The next morning, fishermen discovered the body. Local authorities were alerted, and the British attaché in Madrid was informed. Unbeknownst to them, German agent Adolf Klaus had already been tipped off and quickly accessed the body and documents. The German intelligence apparatus scrutinized the contents meticulously. Everything aligned perfectly: the letters, the IDs, even the theater ticket stub, deemed authentic. The analysts concluded that the Allies would strike Greece and Sardinia. This report reached Adolf Hitler himself, who, already wary of an attack on Greece, was now convinced of an impending invasion there. He ordered reinforcements to shift to Greece, pulling elite forces away from Sicily. Finally, the operation culminated on July 9, 1943, when the Allies launched Operation Husky, landing over 150,000 troops on Sicilian beaches. To their astonishment, they faced minimal resistance. German forces were stationed elsewhere, focusing on the supposed threats in Greece and Sardinia. In just 38 days, Sicily was secured, leading to the swift downfall of Mussolini and Italy's switch in allegiance. Historians largely agree, without Operation Mincemeat, the Allies' invasion could have failed, extending the war and resulting in countless more lives lost. Though he knew nothing of heroism, his sacrifice changed the course of history. Sometimes, history's greatest heroes are those the world never noticed. If you enjoyed this tale, please like and subscribe to learn more amazing stories. Until next time, stay curious.